Greetings and welcome. I'm PsychicMediumRoberto, and I truly hope you are doing well. I'm guided by Spirit. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. So in continuing my review of my preferred top 10 crime channels, in this episode, I'm going to take a look at Vinnie, Politan, who is a crime, how would I put it? Crime reporter, crime commentator, analyst, well versed in his craft, and we will look at his channel specifically. We'll start with just a quick glimpse at Court TV because he is part of the Court TV team, but I do want to primarily focus on his channel. When the Maddie Soto case was going down, what I found interesting was how Court TV deals with it on the real, if you like, on the law level, courtroom level, where then later in the evening, Vinnie breaks it down for us, right? And that's why he has these 13 fours. As much as he deals with process and the court process, evidence, he breaks it down into story bites. In other words, after his day at Court TV, he comes home and tells us the story that is palatable to non-legal people, right? And that's what I found interesting about his work. So let's have a look here. Court TV, its birthday was December the 3rd, 2018. Now the 3 speaks about court, so 3 is perfect. 3 equals court. We already have the 11-2 from the year, and that speaks about the law. So they're on a good start already, right? They're talking about court, the law, and the impact it has on communities. So obviously court cases come from the community, right? What happened here now? There we go. Oops. Thank God this is not live TV. The joke will hold if if I let it play along, right? Alright, let's have a look. So Court TV, court number, law, community-based. What's happening in our communities? Here's the perpetrators. Or if you want to look at it on a generic level, let's look at it at a generic level. An individual has a problem, and it's coming to court. 5 generally speaks about disclosure. Come on. 5 speaks about disclosure, and the human is coming to disclose to court, if you will. about other human beings that have caused issues. Now, Court TV, because it says TV, broadcast, here is your broadcast number. This can also be a broadcast number. 8 is broadcast. So let's put your broadcast. So the shop window, as we see them here, remember the shop window says court, law, community, disclosure, broadcast. And the 7, in terms of broadcast, we can say about justice. So the shop window looks good. And let me just add a footnote here. I've been trying to record this episode, I would imagine, for approximately 2 weeks. When I was about to record it was that 4-day universal let's test Roberto and not give him electronic capabilities for 4 days, and let's see how he deals with that. And then I was just not getting the rhythm again after that. So when I came back now, I'm feeling the flow. So the intention of the channel, crime, 6 equals crime. We're going to broadcast it, 189. We're going to broadcast about crime, murder in general. We can say crime, about the law, 2911-2. Interesting now from this perspective. So there's 2 individuals. And let me add a footnote here. You'll see in the shop window, we technically have got a 3 plus a 3 standoff. And until right near the end, when I was ready to start recording, I realized what it means. Because, of course, in the main, it speaks about there's conflict, right? So when we look at the +9, all is revealed. Of course, it's the defendant and the, what would be the other one? Well, the prosecutor. So the defense team and the prosecution team. Okay. 29 is speaking about those 2 different parties. So 2 people are entangled in a legal issue. Now, if we're looking at Court TV from an audience perspective, here is the audience. There's appetite for courtroom TV, and we know this for sure. So now when we get into the +6, all about the human, speaks about the crime, coming to court. Again, we can say opposing teams. Also about information gathering from community. So this could be your sound bites coming from location, for example. So we could possibly, I mean, I haven't watched recently, but so you'll have a situation, obviously you have your anchor in studio, and you'll cut to a on-location journalist there as well. The impact of crime, of course, affects and destroys communities. 32.5 in its purest nature talks about destruction. It's the first number we saw the day Putin attacked Ukraine, 32.5. It is the opposite to building communities, 23.5. And of course we can say, yeah, and this is where the fives come in with court, is about disclosure. Evidence for evidence. Let's go, yeah, sorry for the zooming and zoomings. So 4 equals evidence. So not only is the shop window accurate, so no fake situation, because inside the heart of the matter is the court process. And we can say colloquially the difficulties that come around with court cases, the issues humans face. So that in the divine, we have the opposition teams dealing with human issues. There's a hidden 24/6. So this is also good to see. We saw it with Val's show, concern about families and how the law impacts families. So this is interesting. So here we have the broadcast numbers as mentioned. 8 is broadcast communication about the justice process. The human side of the story, 6. And the difficulties communities are facing, because we can say, well, this is the second or third time a crime's happening in this community. Now we can start investigating. There's a trend, there's a pattern. So, very good numbers, solid as they come, and always reliable. I think we can all agree. This is not about trying to get them more subs. These guys are masters in what they're doing. But I would always tap in if I needed Idaho, and as mentioned with Vinnie, the Maddie Soto case. Yeah, man. So let me tell you, the episode that I watched with him, that he was doing, was speaking at one point specifically about the mother. And I think it was still in the early days when everyone was still trying to comprehend how can a mother, who I believe is the ringleader, allow the atrocities to take place in their home. If you want to call it a home, that wouldn't be a home. And when Vinnie, on his channel, starts breaking it down into palatable bites and thoughts, into story format, not so much the judicial jargon, which he does have here as well, but relatable sound bites that we can start appreciating what is going on in the courtroom and the characters involved. A recent one that I watched was the announcement of the new Karen Reed prosecutor. A lot of jokes in the circus still continuing. I actually did a post because they want to stick to the same trial date, right? I just did a community post on that day that they want to start the court case. Lots of 10s. And what was the other number? There was another stack of numbers. But in essence, the legal prosecuting, including the judicial system, I think are in turmoil. One could even use the tarot card where you see the burning tower. But try as hard as they may, let's give them another chance and see what they can manipulate in the next case. Anyway, let's not get carried away. That's my opinion, theories. Beg your pardon, getting lost there. Vinnie, his channel is born July 15. And this is it. Regular guy. Someone you can relate to. And doing extraordinary things. These are big numbers. Big numbers. Same with JRL, investigating. Regular guy you can relate to, but doing extraordinary things. 13.4 is the storyteller. Now hidden, we've got a 22.4, which speaks about evidence. So this is what I'm saying. You can just see on face value, 22.4 looks bigger. Of course it is numerically bigger, but if you look at it just from a physical point of view, 22.4, 13.4, Vinnie gives it to us in bite size, relatable story chunks. So 28.10.1 is the broadcast and communication of process. He's got a lot of process numbers. So how does this whole process work? There's the judicial one, judicial system. The individual side of it, so from a prosecuting or a defense point of view, he has that aspect as well. And here is the gift of the gab, 20.10.1, the speaker, the commentator, the broadcaster, to the audience. So when we get to +3, so that's the shop window. We get to +3, the intention is to broadcast about crime. This is very common with all the crime channels we've seen here, and this is what we do. Broadcast about crime, stories, whatever perspective. 16.7 is about the human. So this is interesting actually. This number here, and we've seen it in many ghastly other examples, but in this case, 16.7 speaks about what he's talking about is the human experience within the judicial system. So in other words, he's not going to just give textbook stuff. Here's it here anyway, 37.10.1. He has the propensity for textbook stuff, or let's say law journals and law, those books. With 7 is the justice and the processes that people caught up in a court process go through. So he's given us the human side as well. And that's what he does on his channel, is the human aspect. Because you're going to get court TV the whole day anyway. This is the off-site where you can come and chill. Oh, by the way, I've just been reminded. He often has a team that he joins as well. Also very informative. I almost want to say it can be a bit of a laugh sometimes, but obviously all serious in what they do. But they bring it on in bite-sized story bites, easy on the ear, not all about the Latin universe. So here's the thing here as well. 31.4 is about the evidence. And it's going into the community 3 to get the evidence. So you're doing interviews and so on and so on. You crunch it all down and you have your story 4. Very good. The +6. 21.3 is interesting because it also speaks about, so let's go back one step. We're going into the community to garner sound bites, interviews, evidence, if you like, right? And you break it down into your sound bites, however you're going to broadcast it, right? So 21.3 also speaks about that's fine. We're going to go into the community and get that information, but on the show, we're going to break it down. We're still going to have the same outcome, but we're going to discuss it. What are the important pieces of information? 3, knowledge. 1, information. Are we getting from the community and he speaks about it? What is the standout information? So +9, like I said, he comes across as friendly, familiar. The difference in this 9 +9, this is like the true self, if you will. And this is what he's about, the judicial system. So I must say I've enjoyed these shows. I believe it was the last one I watched because he normally does late evening, but on this particular day he did a very early morning. But I just thought it was a little bit funny because he's not used to getting up in the morning. Anyway, relatable, friendly, funny even, and making story about the judicial process. And let's not forget, and it's in the +6 as well, and the 3 as part of the intention, is the human in the system, the human side of the story. And that's what he is. So Vinnie, thank you very much. I've popped into your channel a few times just for some information, confirmations, and sometimes like the Maddie Soto case, we need to unwind after all the horror stories we hear in the courtroom. So thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will be Vinnie. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are in the comment section. Have you seen the channel and what do you think? And please stay safe, stay alert. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.